Hello. Oh, where am I here? I've got multiple screens going on. Hey, how are you guys doing? I'm in Minneapolis area. I'm pretty far from it, but whoever's in Minneapolis, hopefully you're far away from the craziness. Sad day for us in Minneapolis, but we are not going to talk about that further. We are going to talk about social media updates for May 2020. And I need to turn my volume down. I found my link already. So if you are here for the first time, I would love to hear that. And if you're here back after being on other calls, let me know too. Let me know what your company is and just let me know you're here. Say hi. Say hi. That's great. Okay. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Brad. See a few people coming on. We're going to be covering the latest social media updates that mainly is mainly Facebook, but there's a couple others too. A little bit with Instagram. Just want to wait a couple minutes because I know some other people will probably be jumping on. So make sure that you introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, and we will get into it. If you don't know my business or know who I am, maybe join this group but aren't sure exactly, I should preface this with a little introduction to myself. I usually don't because you are part of the group, but I'm just going to just introduce myself just a tiny bit so that you understand my background. I've been in social media since '07. I've been doing this for businesses for a really, really long time. It's maybe even earlier than that, that I was doing Google stuff, that kind of thing. And my business has transitioned. And in the past few years, I've really focused on conversion strategies, very specifically lead generation using Facebook and Instagram. Video marketing is something that I teach and talk about a lot. I believe in video marketing too. But that all relates mainly back to Facebook and Instagram. I am excited though. I did relaunch a YouTube channel. So I do have a YouTube channel too. If you want to, all of these recordings will always be on YouTube also after the fact. So we will make, I'm a big believer in repurposing content. I should probably do a whole training on repurposing content. So this content goes out to IGTV on Instagram and it will go out to YouTube also. All right, so let's get started. Hello, Mickey. Hello, Christine. All right, so I'm going to go and share my screen and share. And as you can see, I was just on Facebook and we're going to start with this one. All right, so hello, Thea. So I can see your messages in here. So if you have any messages at all, go ahead and drop them in and I'll go back and forth. So we have approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 articles to cover. So I'm going to be going pretty fast. These are all the latest updates in May. And some of them are just some of my favorites that I read during the month. And some are things that have happened that you should be aware of. Okay. So one of the things, this was one of my favorites because it made sense. And this is something that I do with my clients a lot, is scaling Facebook ads. When we first start an ad, we have to test, see how it works, what graphics are working best, what content's working best, what audiences are working best, that kind of thing. And then what we do is we will scale those ads if they are working. So how do we scale? And I like these different things. If you are geographically located and you can increase the size of your audience, then you should definitely do that. So it's increasing the geographic area. Maybe you're even bigger and you can market to the entire world. Let's say my business, I can market to the entire world. So if I wanted to take, and I was marketing only to US only, and the ads were working very well, maybe I want to expand that into Canada, United Kingdom, wherever other countries that I could work with. Okay. So we can go to other countries, we can go to other regions, whatever that would be. That's a great way to scale. Now, this one I like because people use lookalike audiences, and they typically, with a lookalike audience, we've talked about this before, so I'm not going to get into what a lookalike audience is. But when you create these, you create them at the small 1% mark. But what I have been learning is you should test the 2%, 3%, 4%. So increasing that size of audience could help you scale. So that's another one. Change your Facebook ad creative and segment your audience. So for instance, I work with a client that has, they target to chiropractors, they target to arthritis, they target to fitness. They have products that could relate to all those. And so if you segment and the creative, you can also segment then that audience, the creative specifically for a specific audience. Okay, that's another one. And then the last one was increase your budget. So if an ad is working and you want more leads, let's say you're getting 5 leads per day or whatever that is, 1 lead per day, and you want to go up to 2 leads per day, well, you increase your budget. So you increase your budget, a little bit at a time, not too drastically, to start bringing in more and more leads, whatever your goal is. Okay, so that's a good one, and that's on Social Media Examiner, and I wanted to run through that one for you. Facebook Shops. If you are e-commerce listening to this, then pay attention closely. I have not personally dabbled with the Facebook Shops, but I know that they just launched them. So here's what Facebook Shops, the biggest step the company has taken to unify e-commerce across its family of apps. All right, so this was a video, but it just says more on Facebook Shops. Let's talk about this right first at the top. Okay, first, let's see. They had just announced it, so I haven't really seen the details of anybody that's launched it, but I want, if you are in e-commerce, you definitely want to learn about the Facebook Shops. Now, there are Facebook, you can already set up the stores, but Facebook Shops are different. I've also heard that you can work online with, you can do like a Facebook Live and sell right in your Facebook Live with these Facebook Shops. They talked about doing this years ago, so it's really cool. It's free, and I will drop the link in below so that you can see this. This article isn't the best on Facebook Shops actually, but check Google Facebook Shops and see if there's people that have actually set it up and have a step-by-step for you. Because if you're e-commerce, you should know about that. So Gerard, I see you're watching. Welcome, Gerard. And he definitely is e-commerce and needs to check out those Facebook Shops. All right, so Facebook Marketplace is now becoming more B2C. So once again, it's another place for retailers and shopping for business to consumer. So now it opens up with low selling fees. Getting on Facebook Marketplace can be a simple transition. So you can set it up now through a business account. Once again, something brand new that I have not done, but I know that I worked with a client who wanted to sell in Marketplace, and the only way you could is by doing ads. And the problem I had with ads, we saw like, okay, we ran these ads, we had great results, and we dug down to where the best results were, and they were actually in Marketplace. So we tried to segment to just Marketplace, and you could not do it. You had to choose the Facebook feed and Marketplace, but I think this might overcome that. So listing on Marketplace, it's like a catalog checkout on Marketplace opens the door to using the same catalog for checkout on Instagram. Okay. So it looks like they're setting it up with a commission, but it helps you be able to check out on Instagram too. So check out that. It is Facebook Marketplace is open for businesses selling new products. Okay. So that's good to know. It's B to C, because you always had to be you, like your own personal, in order to sell in Marketplace. So it's kind of like a Craigslist, but I think they're changing things. So check that out also, especially if you're e-commerce. This is an interesting one. This is actually against what I do for a living, but that's okay because Google's great too. There's place for Google too. And I definitely, if they do a great enough job to bring me back, I definitely would come back. So basically, Google is trying to find ways to get the people that are spending their ad budget, their money on Facebook to come back in. And it's called discovery ads. So this is a discovery ad. It's pretty large, which is fantastic. And it shows up. This is a different example of it. And this is a different example of it. But as you can see, this one's right on YouTube. And it's a huge picture where they can visit the website. Now, the question is it cost effective like Facebook is? I don't have that answer yet, but it could be worth testing. And I just want you to be aware that, maybe Google will be cost effective. My second favorite to Facebook and Instagram advertising is YouTube advertising. So maybe this is another layer of that could be great for marketers. So it says Google is treading very lightly here. So it might not, if you have a small budget and you're not ready to dabble and just test, I would keep an eye on it and see if this really, is worth it. Companies with bigger budgets, great, but just want you to be aware that there's other avenues out there. So that's Google's discovery ads. Okay, let's keep going. Next one. Oops, I was reading that one. So let's go back to the top. This is top 15 Instagram tools for marketing. That was one I just wanted to run through because I'm just going to drop these links all in the feed afterwards. But the bottom line is I know a lot of people ask me all the time, what are the best tools? And I'm just going to run through a few of the first ones that are on this list, and then I'll give you the link. So in here, they talk about Tailwind. That's their first thing. And Tailwind's great. Tailwind's great. I don't use it for Instagram though. I only use it for Pinterest. Because we have Agorapulse as an agency. So I use Agorapulse, and that's their number 2 on the list. So Agorapulse though manages Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, a number of them. Okay. Sendable, that's another one that they're talking about. And then there's Later. These are all scheduling platforms. Sked Social is another one. Plan, that's a good one I've heard about. HishHash, never heard of, but look at that. It organizes your hashtags, and you can organize them, easily manage your hashtags. So that's something I'm going to check out deeper, because if you look at this, you can put categories, you can tap your category, you can add the selected and shuffle the tags. That's pretty sweet, because you need to shuffle your 30 hashtags all the time. Otherwise you can be shadow banned. So some pretty cool tools in here. I'm going to stop there just because there's so many. I don't want to get into detail with them, but there's a few hashtag ones. And if you can find hashtag strategies, I've created multiple hashtag strategies and they're great. But tools to make your life a lot easier would be great for you, because it's a lot of work doing Instagram because of the hashtags. So I will drop this one for you too. It's by Neil Schaefer. I think I had a couple by him, few of them. All right, this one is Facebook Rooms. Drop in the comments if you tried it. I have not tried it. I had to cancel. We were going to try it last week. And so I haven't tried it. I wish I had though. It's like a Zoom. So it's Messenger Rooms. It's Facebook's Zoom competitor that lets you video chat with up to 50 people with no limit, no time limit at all. So if you're just using it for chatting, I use Zoom for many other purposes. But if you're just using it to chat with people, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So let me know if have you tried the new Rooms. Oh, you used it for a district meeting yesterday. Okay, very interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about it yet to try it. Okay, good. But I think it's cool. And if you haven't noticed, let me go in here to our group here. If you haven't noticed yet and you run manage a group, there's a room on the group. Get in a room with group members. Getting the group together has never been so easy. Start a video chat and up to 8 members will be able to join you instantly. So that, just so you're aware, there's this room too. Pretty weird. This could be interesting. I'm just trying to think of a strategy around how you could use these rooms in a group. It might be cool to say, hey, I'm going to jump on for a chat randomly. Who wants to jump on with me? And just see who jumps in. You could be left alone though. Then you'd feel real great, but I don't know. So it could be cool though, like just to do a random coaching session or a random, to just create that interaction in your group and to build your group even more. It's a kind of a cool way of thinking about things. There's a lot of ways you could do this. With a big group, it might be tough, but first 8, jump on board. I'll spend a half hour with you, something like that. Might be a great way to do things. So watch for that. I'll see if I should do that. So that was the Facebook. So that's 2 different types of things that I was talking about. So this one is a rooms inside the groups. Okay. That's room inside the group. And then there's still the other messenger ones too. Okay. So there's a couple different kinds, it looks like. All right. And then last one is covered up because he's got lots of pop-ups on his site. Let's see, where are we? We want to get rid of your pop-up. Okay. So this is pretty cool. I'm going to give you this because a lot of people ask about Facebook stats. Like, what are the stats for Facebook? Who's on it? And I think this is a great resource because it is updated and new for 2020. So I wanted to give you this. So let's just talk about some of the stats. 60% of internet users worldwide are on Facebook. 3 billion visit Facebook. This is specific to Facebook only, not even talking Instagram. 2 billion of these users visit daily. 69% of American adults use Facebook. And now we're going to break down the demographics. Highest percentage is between the ages of 25 and 29. I get a lot of people thinking that age is only on Instagram. They're saying 84% are 25 to 29. 46% of those are 65 and older. So 65 and older, they're the lowest of any age group, of course, but they still actually are Facebook. For the 65 and older crowd, Facebook's number 1. 51% of teenagers use Facebook. So teenagers, yes, are still on Facebook. And this is pretty cool because among these earning at least $75,000 US, 75% use Facebook. Okay, so there's money there. You're selling products. There's money there. 83% of users are 45 and under. Now, customer engagement. Drop in the comments what's surprising to you. Is any of this surprising to you at all? Drop in the comments what's kind of you're questioning, if you're questioning any of it. 66% of Facebook users like or follow a brand. Well, most of us follow some sort of brand. 78% of consumers have discovered a product on Facebook. Yes, clothing has been targeting me a lot lately, but then I'm kind of like, well, where am I wearing all these clothes that I want to buy? 81% of businesses share video on Facebook. 81% of businesses, we talk about businesses. So businesses, 81% are sharing video. So share video. 15% of Facebook users specifically intend to shop there. It's an interruptive site. I do not think most don't go on there to shop, most people, but I mean, if a company's doing great targeting, they will find you and you will buy. Each month, the typical user averages 13 likes, 5 comments, 1 share. Facebook marketing is everywhere. So let's talk about Facebook marketing. 86% of marketers use Facebook advertising. That's a big number. That is a huge number. On average, Facebook charges $1.68 per click. That's interesting for me because I tell people we try to get at less than $1 per click. And I've been told like around $1 is kind of the average, but obviously the prices have gone up. I think it's around $1 right now, though, I'm guessing, because COVID kind of brought the price down a little bit, but they're saying $1.68. 47% of marketers say Facebook is the most effective place to advertise. Yep, I completely agree. And that was all of it. So basically that was just so you really understand the stats. And then the teens, okay, that's funny. I agree, the teen one. My teenager who's 15, he uses Instagram and TikTok, I believe. But they said half, so that's half. I'm not sure if that's just, I think Messenger's separate, but I know a lot of teenagers that use Messenger to talk to each other, but yeah, so you assume TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram, exactly. And it's not saying that they're not there too, but they're on Facebook. And that's one thing I bring up to people all the time. You may think the teenagers aren't on Facebook. You may think they're not on Instagram or whatever, but test it. Test the ads there. Let the data tell you. Don't just assume. Let the data tell you and test it and see. So there's a lot of data out there, but I think this was good stats for Facebook on 2020. I'd be interested to see the Instagram stats. I'm sure this guy, obviously Neil Schaefer, he's very well respected in the industry, and he does a lot with this area. All right, so that is everything that I have for now. So the big things were the shops. So the Facebook shops, big things are Facebook rooms. And then I always want to talk about conversions and leads because that's your goal of your business, is making sales. So I brought in a lot of different pieces here. Once we're done with this call, I will drop in all these links in the comments below so that you can go read them yourself or access them yourself. All right, I hope you take action today. If you are retail, make sure that you go check these things out for Marketplace, for shops. And if you're not retail, but you're not using ads, you know what? Find a little budget, even if it's a small budget, and start running ads. Because as you can see, it said 86% of marketers are using Facebook ads, and I definitely know they work. I just launched a client last Friday, Builder. And right now, in less than a week, we are at 14 high quality leads with name, emails, phone numbers, everything within less than a week. Unbelievable results. And I know it can work for you. You just got to learn it and use it. All right, you guys, I don't see any other questions. You're welcome, Sean, and have a good day. We will, and let's not focus on the Minneapolis stuff. I'm just going to keep on working. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.